to cover everything. Okay, so first things first, why might you want to come and do your postgraduate study at Cambridge? So we are a top 5 global university. You guys have probably all heard of us, which is why you're here in this room today. So one of the really great things about being a top 5 global university is that we can attract some really great people to come and work for us at Cambridge and to do research and teach. And our academics generally are right at the forefront of their field, so they're national and international experts, and they are very involved in research, but also very involved in teaching as well. So the people who will be supervising you and teaching you will be people who are doing some really interesting current research at the same time. So this quote here is from our Vice Chancellor. His name is Professor Stephen Tuke. He is a former international student at Cambridge, so he did his PhD with us. He's in law, so he did some human rights and international law for his PhD. So even our Vice Chancellor is one of you, basically, is an international student, which is really great for us. So he's really supportive of international students, and he really understands what that means. Okay, so we have a really wide range of courses at Cambridge. For postgraduate, I think it's something in the region of about 330 courses. It is a massive range. And generally our courses are really quite specific. We don't have too many sort of general master's courses. They tend to focus in on one really specific area of research. We've got lots of specialist areas, so these tend to relate to the areas that our academics are working on. Those are then the kind of areas that we can offer courses in because we have those world experts in those areas. So that might mean that I don't know absolutely every detail about the specific course that you're applying for, because my memory is good, but I can't store information about 330 courses. So in terms of planning for the course that you're wanting to apply for, the onus is on you to kind of do your own research. Read everything that's available on the website. If there's not enough information there to find out what you want to know, get in touch with the department. They'll be more than happy for you to email them and ask for a bit more information that way. So we have, in total at Cambridge, something in the region of about 22,000 students. Just under 10,000 of those are graduate students or postgraduate students. We kind of use both terms interchangeably. And about 50% or just over 50% of those are international students. So our international postgraduate population is really quite large, which is really great because it adds to the diversity of the university and the diversity of all the research that we can be doing as well. And you'll also get a personal supervisor as part of your course, so you'll get one academic who works with you really closely and kind of keeps an eye on you in your research and keeps you on track. So one of the really great things that you'll get to do, or hopefully we get to do as part of your postgraduate study, is that you get the opportunity to supervise undergraduate students. So this can be teaching in supervision, which is generally one academic with a couple of students. The students will prepare something in advance, so they'll write an essay or solve some problems, and they'll bring them into the supervision to discuss. So you guys, as postgraduate students, you can be that academic, so you can be that world expert that the students come to see for you to help them with their work. So that's a really valuable experience for you guys to have. There's also options to do things like demonstrating as well. So if you're in the sciences, you might be one of the supervisors in the lab classes who goes around and makes sure that all the undergrad students are on track. So this is a really valuable experience, particularly if you are thinking of going into academia and lecturing, or if you're thinking of going into teaching, but equally if you're thinking of going into another field as well. This is quite valuable experience that shows your kind of transferable skills in terms of leadership and presentation and things like that. And one of the other real assets of having degree from Cambridge is that our students are really sought after in the job market. So there's lots of employers out there who you having a degree from Cambridge and being a Cambridge alumni means that they will be quite interested in you. We have a really good careers service who are there to kind of help you with any of your employment needs. So during the course they can help you with things like finding internships, helping you update your CV, doing a kind of mock interview type thing as well. So they're really there to support you with whatever you need. The other nice thing about our career service is they are available for life. So if you're a Cambridge alumni, it's not just a case that after a few years we say wave goodbye and say good luck to you. Our careers service is always there for you. So 10 years, 20 years down the line, you can appear again and ask for some help from them, and they can connect you with some employers in your area. We also have some really strong alumni networks as well. Cambridge graduates tend to be quite proud that they've gone through Cambridge, and they tend to kind of, you know, look out for each other and help each other out as well, which is really nice. Okay, so the way that Cambridge is structured is divided into a number of different colleges. For some of you, you might be quite familiar with what that is and how it works. Some of you maybe not so much. So basically we have 31 different colleges. Each one of those is kind of like a mini campus. So each one has its own facilities for students. So for the undergraduate students, the college provides the accommodation. For postgraduate students, they don't always guarantee that they can provide you with accommodation just because of the capacity they have, and the priority has to be for the 18-year-olds who aren't sort of able to look after themselves as much as you guys. But some of the colleges would be able to provide you accommodation, otherwise you might be having to find another room in the city. But the college will provide you with your meals, so you can eat 3 meals a day in the cafeteria. It's nice and cheap and affordable, saves you having to spend time cooking. And there's also loads of facilities in the college as well. So there's lots of social facilities. You'll have the graduate common room where you can, you know, sit around and discuss academics or anything else with all your peers. Every college has library facilities, computing facilities, things like that. And it will also be really your network and your community of fellow students, fellow postgrads to support each other, and also academics within the college who support you as well. So yeah, it provides you with that really nice kind of smaller environment. So as well as being a member of the university, you'll also be a member of one individual college, which sort of provides you with a way to get to know a lot of people really quite well. I should say as well, in terms of colleges, they are probably more similar than they are different. They're all pretty old. They all have some really nice old buildings, and they all have fairly similar facilities in terms of what they provide. There will be some small differences, so some will have more facilities for things like music or sports than others. There's slight variation in location, so some colleges are right in the city centre, you know, close to everything, close to the shops. Some are a little bit further away, but away from where all the tourists are. But when I say a little bit further away, with Cambridge, because it's quite a small city, nothing is ever more than 20 minutes away from where you are. So it's a little bit different to Bangkok in that case. So when I'm talking about distance, I'm not talking massive distances really. And one of the other bodies that the university provides, which is there to support our postgrad students, is the graduate union. So we have a students' union for the undergrad students, and we have an additional one specifically for postgrads, which is fairly unusual in the UK. Usually you get grouped in with all the other students. So for us, this is a separate network for you guys to provide support for the postgrad students. So the graduate union provides a lot of advocacy and welfare services, so they can lobby for things that the graduate community needs on behalf of all the graduate students. They have some advice and counselling services, so if you have any issues with the supervisor and you need somebody independent to step in and help you out, and the graduate union can get involved there. So it's automatic for you to be a member of the graduate union. Any family members that you bring along with you, they'll be able to become members and access the graduate union services as well. And as well as your studies, we do also want you to enjoy your time in Cambridge and get to experience what the city and the university has to offer. So the university has loads of different clubs and societies on offer, which are run by the Students' Union. There are absolutely hundreds of them in reality. I think there's more than 200 for basically anything that you can think of. So it's quite a nice way to get to meet other students, particularly other students from outside your college. It's basically to join a couple of clubs and societies you're interested in. So we have these in all areas. We're quite well known for sport. If anyone saw the boat race the other weekend, Cambridge happened to be Oxford this year, just saying. And there's also things like music and drama. So you saw on the video all the, the famous actors that have come through Cambridge, usually through our Footlights drama company, and then gone on to have quite, big careers in the industry. So for a lot of students, they find that they come here to study something and actually their hobby becomes their career further on as well, which is quite nice. But we have lots of things on offer at different levels. So if you're not, professional standard drama or university level sport, you can just join a college team or a college theatre group or something like that, just for a bit of fun and socialising. In terms of the city of Cambridge, we are quite a small city, as I mentioned, but we do have everything that you might possibly need to entertain yourself. So all the sort of pubs, bars, shops, theatres that you can possibly need, we've got all of them. There's loads going on for students as well. Often with your student card that you'll get as being part of the university, there'll be loads of things which are free or discounted for students as well that you can get involved with. And if you have had your fill of Cambridge and you've seen everything there is to see, you've visited every college and every shop, we are also about 45-50 minutes from London, so you can quite easily hop on a train or a bus, and then you've got everything that London has to offer to entertain you as well. So generally, you obviously will be working very hard at Cambridge, but students tend to find that they can work out quite a good work-life balance between the two. Okay, so hopefully I've convinced you that Cambridge is the kind of place that you want to be for your postgrad study. So I will just spend a little bit of time talking you through the application process. Okay, so that's pretty much what the process looks like. I'll just give you a minute to read that before I move on. Yeah, if you want to take pictures, it's fine. Just make sure you turn the flash off and the sound